people gotta choose, people gonna follow, that's the question. I know a couple niggas still owe me favors, we ain't talking this semester. We on the map, 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 yeah, we really gonna flex though. Got some stats, 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 yeah, we really about to spend it up.
Hey, what it do, baby? Welcome back to the Vereeniging Network. Thanks for joining us if you're new. Thanks for coming through to the channel again if you've been here before. I really appreciate you guys for coming back, man. As you can see, I've got a new look over here, some new shirts, some new merchandise. That's what it is. I got some new merchandise, and you know, thank you very much to Cat Prince. I'm gonna leave his details down in the description below. You helped me a lot with these. I really appreciate your service, brother. And today I'm at one of the favorite spots that I like to go out for a young drink, you know, for some food. It's called Barraca restaurant. It's in the Vaal Triangle as well. It's in Arcon Park. One of my favorite places to be. Please go show them some love on social media and then come through, you know, come have a drink with me. You can invite me out as well. That's cool as well, you know. But yeah, today we're going to be speaking to some rising stars from the Vaal Triangle. You know, these guys have got a total of 360,000 streams across all streaming platforms. Their song was one of the top 200 streamed Shazammed songs in 4 different countries. As far as Namibia, these guys, you know, they've got one song on Spotify. It's got around 90,000 streams. You know, I'm really loving it. I'm really happy that these guys contacted me to get onto the network. And you know, yeah, Inter B Draad. Inter B Draad are the guys I'll be interviewing today. They're actually some really humble guys. Really excited for this interview. And there's one more thing that I would like to tell you guys. I get around 100 views per video. And I like to imagine that as an audience of 100 people right in front of me. And it's a very humbling thought. And I think that if there were 100 people in front of me right now, I'd be very nervous. So thank you very much to everyone who's been watching. I really appreciate it. Just remember to go press that subscribe button. Remember to go press that notification bell. Remember to press that share button, because we want more people part of the notification gang on the Vereeniging Network. As you know, the show was supposed to be called Conversations with Reg. I've decided to change that. The show now is going to be called the On The Map Podcast with Vereeniging. And I'd like to send a shout out to Floki, the producer. He's the one who's going to be letting me use the song that you heard earlier when the show started. I really appreciate it. You know, I've decided to make this show, since it is about music, we're going to make it a podcast. And it's going to be called the On The Map Podcast with Vereeniging. Much love to all of you. Let's get into this interview. Welcome to the On The Map Podcast with Vereeniging. This is my brand new show. I'm sure all of you guys who haven't been here before, and all of you guys who have been here, noticed that I didn't really do any music interviews, and that's the one thing I was most vocal about when I did start this YouTube channel. I'm very proud and very happy to announce that I'm here with probably the biggest artist that I've ever actually been in contact with before, you know. It's Inter B Draad, 2 young men from the Vaal Triangle. I'm very happy to be with these guys today, you know. Thanks for agreeing to the interview, gents. I really appreciate it so much, man. Away. Hey, these guys have got probably around 360 plus streams at the moment, right? Or at least that's what they told me. I'm gonna go do my own numbers when I leave here. Gonna go do my own numbers. Yeah, I'm gonna do the calculations, man. But yeah, these guys are probably the biggest artists I've been with before. They've worked with the likes of Calvin Momo, Mr. Jazzy Q, Tyler ICU, and if I'm not mistaken, they might be working with Melo and Sleazy before. That's a Vereeniging exclusive. That's a Vereeniging exclusive right there. I'm releasing some very difficult stuff right now.
Exclusive.
Making some people very uncomfortable. But yeah, man, Inter B Draad, thanks for coming to the Vereeniging Network. Thanks for being my first artist on my new show, you know, On The Map Podcast with Vereeniging. Yeah, dude, so just tell me a little bit about yourselves. You know, I've spoken to a couple of people since you guys agreed to be on the show, and none of them knew who you are.
For real.
But when I go to TikTok,
it's crazy.
Man, it's crazy.
It's booming.
It's crazy. It's booming, bro. Like when I go to Spotify, it's booming. Your numbers are really high. So if you guys can just tell me a little bit about yourselves and how you ended up meeting each other to end up working together.
Okay, first of all, my name is Kuipilo Tselanyan. It's born and raised in the Vaal, bro.
Where in the Vaal are you from, by the way? That's
from the Vaal.
From the Vaal Park. Yeah. Oh, Bedworth Park. Yeah. All right. Hey.
Now I'm being exact about my location.
Hey, my man.
It is what it is.
I think we want the fangirls. The fangirls must know where to come, you know? When they're gonna send the fan mail.
But yeah, bro. I've always been a music lover. You know, I've always been a music lover, especially like my family. I've been around where family has been a thing that it's mandatory to listen to good music.
I see.
You know.
Hey,
So
I'm sorry to disturb you, man, but I'm gonna tell you guys, this guy's got a super mom. Let me tell you now. She's recording us now as we speak, so he's not lying. He's definitely not lying to you guys. Yeah, so you say it's a family, yeah.
Yeah, bro. It's like mandatory to listen to good music. You know. So obviously, I've always had that like dopamine. You know that okay, you know what? I also need to like listen to good music. You know. So growing up, it has just been a thing that okay, you know what? Listen to soul, you know, deep house and all of that.
Yeah.
So I actually took it into consideration around 2020 during lockdown. So that's when I started like first exploring my talent. You know, all thanks to the lockdown. So there's this like software that's called FL Studio. I installed the software and I'm like, okay. Because I first listened to Black Coffee. Like Black Coffee used to be my role model, bro. Like,
Hey man,
yo,
you and millions of others.
Nice, bro. Like, yo, that guy used to be my role model, you know. So I'm like, man. Besides the mixing, I also want to learn my production.
Yeah.
You know, I want to learn my production and actually see. If
So
I
by
can-
mixing, you mean mixing as in like DJ?
like
mixing?
DJing, yeah, like
Being an
yeah.
actual DJ.
Being
Oh, so
a
you used to
DJ.
be a DJ before this?
Yeah, before this, like
Oh,
I used to be a
okay.
DJ, but then obviously it wasn't as huge as we
It is
are
now,
now. You know? Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah. You know, and at first my name wasn't actually Inter B. I was actually DJ Young Coffee.
Ah, Young Coffee.
Young Coffee, yeah, you know. So at first, and I'm like, man, this is just too whack, you know. So like, okay, now let me explore this software, and then I'm like, okay, you know what? Obviously, piano has a sense of deep house. You know, they share the same melodies. I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me actually install this and actually see if I can do something about this. And then from there, I just started producing. At first, my songs were like whack, bro. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna give up. Just gonna keep on pushing. Just gonna keep on pushing.
Yeah.
And then yeah, that's just how it is. And then obviously the streams wonders like high because I was still building a name for myself.
Yeah.
And then came 2021, around December, I released my first EP.
First EP.
Called On Movement. You know, yeah, bro. And then that was when Dread came to my life.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
was about to ask
Yeah,
you.
that was when
Yeah,
Dread came
yeah.
to my life, and then I was like, you know what, because we met in a very weird way.
Yeah.
You know, because like
Let's let him tell us. Let's let him tell us. How did you get into music, my man, and how did that lead you towards Inter B? Young Coffee.
Okay, firstly,
Mpo Mkhethu, okay, nice to meet you, Mpo, my brother.
based in Vanderbilt Park.
Vanderbilt Park. Hey man, if you can also speak a little louder, if you can just
It's my voice, you know.
yeah.
It's more deeper.
Yeah, but-
When so if this was Young Coffee, you're Deep Coffee. Hey, Deep Coffee, yeah. So what's up? Mpo Mkhethu, you say? Okay, yeah.
So, like the environment that I grew up in, you know. So it was actually like, I used to play drums at church. I used to be those type of guys, more karate pensei,
Yeah.
class, you know, just have that kind of mentality of music. So my dad actually like pursued to actually push me to, you know, get into the software. Yeah,
Software.
FA.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
And also
your
my brother.
dad got you into Fruity Loops
Yeah, my dad and my brother.
and your brother. Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah.
So they actually like saw potential in me and were like, this kid, they're only 10 years old, that can like literally use
Play
this software,
drums and
play
all.
drums, you know. So
That's so cool. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's really cool, dog. And then so when you guys decided to make an Inter B and Draad, man, I get Inter B, but where does this Draad come from? And I'm sure I'm not the only one wondering, but
Yeah,
who's this
yeah,
Draad,
yeah.
man?
Who's this
so,
Draad? What
Because
you
me, I
know?
was calling you Draad. You know what's Draad in Afrikaans? Kill is saying, were you making Lesenke when you started music or what? What is this Draad, brother?
So basically it comes from drums.
Drums, okay.
Okay, drums.
Okay.
I can say if Lona the great one. Like,
No,
people-
hey man, it's your name, embrace it,
Yeah,
it's yours,
yeah.
you know, be proud of it. It's got you 90,000 streams on one song.
Yo,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that's actually wild. That's
So,
actually wild.
having said that, are you the one that usually works on like the log drums and stuff? Because going forward into the next question, I'm wondering why you guys chose Amapiano.
you know, there was the drum movement going on. You know, your shows like what is this channel? Oh, everyone was on the drum wave.
Oh,
and
like
so
MTV Base as well.
MTV Base, they had a whole drum wave thing, and you know, radio stations and everything. And so, were you guys not afraid that by going into something else that was emerging, you might not fizzle out just like drum did? I have to put a disclaimer though. Drum is a very KZN thing. It's a very KwaZulu-Natal thing. It's really big that side. But now we're talking about on a national stage. At the end of the day, Bedworth Park and Umlazi are not the same thing. You know? So you guys decided to go the Amapiano route, right? And were you not afraid that you might fizzle out? You know, a lot of people, like myself, disclaimer, I also used Fruity Loops before, but I gave up. You know, I gave up, and it's just like everyone goes into hip hop when they start with music. Not everyone, but most people will go into deep house or hip hop. So why did you guys choose Amapiano?
Bro, to be honest, I've always listened to Amapiano since like primary.
Hey man, you're exposing your age, bro. You're exposing your age.
No, like that's just like the way it is, bro.
I see.
You know, like since primary in the Gihale, like a long time ago. I think I was like.
So how Gihale? Because the Amapiano that we're having now is not the Amapiano of before. In fact,
I'm talking about
Amapiano is
2012, 2013.
Okay.
That was when there was no log drum.
Yeah, that was without the log drum. I remember because the Amapiano was akin to what is it? Slow tempo. Slow tempo, low tempo, and mid tempo, and with all of that. So you've always been a fan of that. And so when this version of Amapiano came in, you fell in love with it.
Yeah, bro. Like I've always like fell in love with the sound of Amapiano. You know, like, even way before the log drum was like presented. You know, I've listened to the likes of Kabza and everyone because like, you know what, I love these melodies because it's a mixture of deep house and take.
Quite.
So, yeah, bro, I was like, okay, you know what? Since like piano, I'm just basically going to do a genre that I actually love, you know. But then obviously, you need to come up with your own style, which is our own style, you know, which you call now Scafro. You know, Scafro. It's a mixture. It's a mixture of Afro take and piano.
Look.
It's on the Map podcast with Reggie Mash. You just heard of a new genre now. In 2 years, 3 years, if this thing is big, you heard it here first.
Scafro. Like
brought to you by Inter B Draad.
It's actually a new movement.
Yeah, it's actually
it's an entire new movement.
Yes, an entire movement. Like we just introduced it this year.
Okay, that's
so
cool.
Yeah, Draad and I have been actually developing a new sound. You know, seeing that okay, you know what, we don't want to do something that's
that's already been done.
Yeah, bro. You know, so yeah, that's just the way it is. You know, piano is actually even way before piano used to be big. We just genuinely like loved it. And we've been in the studio exploring what we can do and everything. You know, so
it's actually like about your creativity. Because many artists just want to be like Gabs.
Because a lot of people were complaining at the beginning that Amapiano really sounded the same. Especially people who weren't within. That was a big complaint of it. Myself included. I used to not like Amapiano. Disclaimer: everybody knows this. That knows me. I used to not like it at all. I'm not gonna lie, dude. You know. So it's very interesting that you guys had seen something, and so I can say you guys are a bit of a big deal now. Or let me use this word. You're rising stars.
You guys are rising stars. I wouldn't actually classify us as a big deal right now because there's still like a lot of work.
There's a lot of work to be done.
Actually need to be done.
Okay. So what after you guys met, you decided to be Inter B
Draad.
The drummer Draad.
Firstly, this guy, Masukoli,
you didn't want to.
But I used to like start.
Oh, so you started making music after him? Oh, okay.
No, I used to make Afro.
He used to make Afro, and I used to do like piano.
So it does sound like two completely different
Until I
things.
actually like improved my sound, you know, and then he actually liked it. And then he got us to be like
Because at first, this bro was actually sending me projects, you know. Like I didn't actually take him serious at first. It's like, bro, can you please like work? You know? So obviously Lina, I'm like, okay,
give him a chance.
Let me just give him a chance, you know, because Lina is a very cool chain, bro. Like you see, like right now, like we're actually brothers. We don't even consider our friendship as like now we're friends. It's actually all about bromance. So yeah, bro was like, okay, you know what? Let's actually work this out. And then he sent me his project, and I'm like, okay, like, this is actually dope, bro.
That's cool.
And then from there, I called him, then he came to my crib, and then like we started working, sleeping at my crib.
Yeah, with the PC.
Traveling with the PC. Hey, it was a lot, bro.
Hey, these people are exposing their age, guys. When did Bolt get to South Africa? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Hey man, I get to a Maxi taxi. Get to a taxi, combo local. In my head. That's cool. Yeah, that's really cool.
Bro, yeah.
So fast forward, right? You get an email, you get a phone call. I don't know if you have a manager. You get the first message of you're getting booked for the Durban July. My dude,
Bro.
how did that feel? Tell me about the feeling when you first How did it feel, dog? When you were getting booked for Durban July? Like I can only imagine how it feels to be booked for something. Most people will never even go. I'm not even sure if I'll ever be at the Durban July, you know?
Yeah.
How did it feel to be booked to go do that? How did it feel when you first heard the news? And tell me also about the few hours before you got on stage. How did that feel? And you know, tell me about that.
Actually, we did not expect that.
Yeah.
Because there was actually this one song that was making waves. It was 100 watts.
Yeah.
You know,
100 watts.
Yeah.
And in which year was this?
it was last year.
2022, ne?
2022.
Yeah.
March, around March.
Yeah, around March, yeah.
It was making
26th of
waves.
March when you actually dropped it.
I see.
Yeah. So we made waves. So then we got a call from SK and Gola TSA. So these guys were like, yo guys, please send us your exclusives, you know.
Exclusive, yeah.
Yeah, they were like quite impressed, and then they said, we need you guys this side. We love your sound, you know. Yeah.
Okay. So just for those who don't know, who are SK and you say Kola Max, or who are these
Kola
people?
TSA.
Kola TSA. Who are these people?
There's this song called Way. It was actually trendy. So
Okay.
one of the song is Kola TSA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So Okopanakaele Durban July, how was he the person that got you towards the Durban July?
Durban July.
Yeah.
So basically, those people are DJs from Durban, right? They're very huge in Durban.
Oh,
very
okay,
big
yeah.
in Durban.
It feels like Durban is its own country, man.
Yeah,
It's
bro.
really
Durban is actually
Yeah.
huge. So since they actually loved our music, right? They have residencies there, and then they spoke to the owner of the club.
Okay.
And they're like, okay, you know what? We need these boys in Durban, you know. And then SK spoke to the owner of the club, like, bro, we need to make a plan. We need to book these boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the owner texted us like, gents, we need to rock Durban July. Like, what?
How did that feel?
Yo.
Like,
Yo.
I'm still
At
trying
first,
to
I
imagine.
thought like we were dreaming, bro. Like we
Yeah.
need to rock there in July. I'm like, okay, what? Like, nah, let me just like leave this text for now. I woke up again.
Yeah, think
About it. Okay, I'm like, okay, now. I'm like, okay, you know, you always need to humble yourself. Good man, yeah,
Yeah, all of that.
you know, yeah, all of that. It was like, okay, no, they organized everything, accommodation, the flights and everything. Then it's just how it is. Obviously, like performing in Durban July is actually a big.
It's
Like,
huge.
everyone's just there.
Yeah,
You know.
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It was my first time like using being in the flight.
Being in
being on a flight.
Yeah.
and
First time
all
in the
expenses paid.
All expenses paid.
That's
Paid, bro.
great,
Like,
that's
all expenses
great.
paid.
That's amazing. And then, so how does it feel when you're walking onto the stage, or you're walking onto the set, and it's like, yo, I'm at the Durban July. Like, I'm actually here. you
Yeah.
know? How did that feel? As two young men from the Vaal, you'd only been making music together from around 2020, right?
Yeah, like
And,
2021.
A year later, a year and a half
Durban
later,
July.
you're at the Durban July.
Yo, bro, like, first of all, anxiety. Anxiety.
Because the crowd, yo.
Because the crowd was like,
booming,
yeah,
yo,
yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
it was
plus
too
my man
much.
over here seems like a really quiet dude, man.
Yeah, bro.
Dad!
Yeah, you know. So obviously, bro, like, hey, it was actually like a crazy experience, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I actually like never expected to see like such a huge crowd of people,
Yeah.
bro. You know, like everyone's just like, hey, the videos, the flashes,
Yeah.
you know,
That's
it's
so
so
real, like,
yeah. But
man.
it was really an overwhelming experience because you know we actually felt the love like from Durban, like okay, like wow, we're actually like being welcomed,
Yeah.
you know. So
That's
yeah.
cool. That's
Even the meat, it was.
Oh, the meat there!
Umlazi.
Yo!
The meat.
There's a place they call
Umlazi.
Metro Gent Umlazi.
Umlazi.
Yeah.
Yo!
Hey, Jens, this is a music podcast. These guys are going crazy over meat.
Bro, like that meat.
They're making
Yo,
me feel like I'm
Bona.
a fish. Yeah.
I've never in my life. I saw promotion of Israel.
Yeah.
I've never in my life.
Crazy.
Yo, that beat was dope, bro. That
We
meat-
just learned something new about Inter B and Draad is that they're really good food lovers. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Food is everything. Yo.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. So yeah, like that one is a very.
So for how long were you guys there?
We were there for like I think 3 days because we went there. I think on the 1st or 2nd of July, or was it the 3rd?
Okay.
Yeah, 3rd until the 5th. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was around Saturday, and then we came back. No, we went there on Friday.
Yeah,
then we came back
on
on Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember.
that's
So we
really
were
cool.
like there for like 3 days, and then we were just exploring, going around, actually, seeing other different places.
So, I was looking at your album from last year, right?
Yeah.
And I noticed one name there. King Detroit.
Yo,
Yo.
One of the OGs from the Vaal,
Yeah.
that dude is a really big deal.
Yeah, yeah.
And I noticed that he's one of the prominent names on your album. And so I'd like to know, how is it that King Detroit came to actually put you under his wing?
so bro, basically, King Detoy is actually our mentor.
Oh, he's your mentor.
His
Oh,
mentor.
pop.
He's basically a brother to us. Just carrying us under his
his
wing.
way.
You know. At first, it was actually difficult to interact with him because he first wanted to see progress.
Yeah.
He first wanted to see,
Obviously, yeah.
he first wanted to see the work out there. So he actually played a huge role in our music journey.
Yeah.
He played a huge role in our music journey. He actually made us interact with all these different acts.
Yeah. Yeah.
But obviously, at first, you need to build.
Build up.
Yeah, you need to build a name for yourself. So that's when it's like, okay, I love the work. It's fine. And then Jam dropped, and it's like, okay,
That's what it
Jamie-
is.
that's what it is.
Waves, Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what it is. Yeah, bro.
Oh, that's crazy. So, for my bro, I'm gonna call you my bro. But man, like I him. So,
Oh,
like you big bro. For me, you big bro. Fit, Calvin Momo, Jazzy Q, Tyler ICU. These are all names. As someone who doesn't listen to too much Amapiano, these are all names that I know. These are names that probably every South African youth knows. And how do you get to studio? And you see this guy is like, yo, what do you do? Dread the drama, and he's like, hey man, let's work. How does that feel?
Firstly, like I'm actually like a quiet guy, shy guy,
Yeah, you
because so I was actually like nervous, Imagine like producing in front of all those artists in one studio.
In one studio.
Yo,
Yeah.
it was
So
very
was
great.
there ever a situation where it was many of them at once, or was it like isolated incidents? But like for the most part, I'd really like to know, how did it feel, bro? How did it feel to be in the company of these guys? Not only just in the company, not on a feature, not on a co-sign. They featured on your album. How did that feel being in studio with these guys?
Bro, it was too much.
Hey, my man's getting emotional.
Yes.
Man's getting
No,
emotional.
I'm not getting
yeah.
emotional. The thing is, like, we've actually like worked hard for this to reach this point, and people don't actually like know that. They think we actually got like
Lucky.
an easy way
Yeah.
to actually work with these people,
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah. So I've actually taken these people as my inspiration in my life, especially Kevin Moon.
Yeah.
Because I'm more into soulful,
Yeah.
So imagine doing like chords in front of him, in front of
Calvin
him. Yeah.
Hey
So,
man, shout out Calvin Momo, shout out King D Toy, shout out to all of you guys, Jazzy Q, King D Toy, all of the big features, as someone who's starting a YouTube channel myself, I'm gonna find it hard, and I have been finding it hard to get people to agree to interviews and whatnot. So I understand the gravity of people of such a high magnitude agreeing to feature two young stars on their, to be featured by you guys. I think that's something I need to put an emphasis on, is that they let themselves be featured by you guys.
And the motive behind it was that they actually believed in us.
They believe
They
in you,
don't.
exactly.
They don't really like make you feel like as if like you still feel trying to dig yourself better or
They
anything.
believe in you guys, yeah. So, I want to know if these features, do they some kind of give you a little bit of validation? Do you feel like you've made it? Do you feel like you have got to where you wanted to be? And if not, how will you know that you have made it? And how far do you feel like you need to go?
Honestly, man, for us,
Yeah.
these features honestly mean a lot to us, man. They've played a huge role, especially in the album, you know.
Yeah.
But then we feel that we still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
There's still so much work to do. There's still so much of progress
Yeah.
that has to be done.
Yeah, yeah.
Because once you tell yourself that you've actually made it, you're gonna think that you're bigger than everyone. And once you start thinking that you're bigger than everyone, that's when you stop being work ethic.
Yeah, it might stunt your growth.
Yeah,
as well.
it's
We're still working with more upcoming artists.
More upcoming artists,
More
yeah.
Abu Wade,
Yeah.
KBY.
Yeah.
There are still a
Because-
lot of people.
Yeah,
that are
because
doing the creation.
hence why we also, because the album initially, it had to be big, bro, because we actually worked like,
Yeah.
those sleepless nights, bro.
Yeah.
And obviously, there was rejection.
Yeah.
There was rejection.
That's another question I actually wanted to ask you
Yeah.
guys. So we're like, hey man, how will you feel more LinkedIn? I know a lot of artists,
Yeah.
right? There was a point when a lot of people thought I was a manager. I've never been a manager. I was just supporting the people that I know. And so, having seen that there were times when they had to be booked for shows,
Yeah.
these people are only giving them bottles, or they're only giving them like 250 rand. Sometimes they'll be performing for free, you know, sometimes they want to feature with someone and they give them the runaround. So, like, on top of you guys being able to do this, I feel like the strides that you've made as a duo, there has to have been some sort of big letdown. There
Yeah,
has to have
a
been a
lot.
time when you felt like the fame gets to your head and you feel like you really can do anything, but then you get disappointed.
There was once this gig we had in Everton.
Or Everton, yeah.
So the ball from my house to there was like 1,000
$1,000
bucks. So I had to pay with my money
Yeah.
just to get there. So when we got there, so at that time he was DJing, then I was playing drums. You know?
Oh, so this is before the duo.
No, that was within the
so it was
because
before.
we first like used to play drums.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
So when you get there, we played. Then the CDJ, CD, and we came with sticks. You know, so it was very unprofessional for us. But I
Yeah.
just believe it was just because we were starting. It's part of the journey.
It's
you
part
know?
of the gym. Yeah.
So, and then this guy comes and guys us food without actually paying us.
Yeah.
Like food. Papa chicken.
So you paid all of that money, you get there and you can't even do your thing properly.
Yeah.
And then this guy is like, yo, guys. Ijan. Eh, mara ke ke lungile le ratile nama ya Durban.
Hey, dog.
No,
that
it was
was
actually it was before Durban.
Yeah,
it was
it was
before
very
Durban.
before Durban, yeah.
Okay, so this guy gave you chicken.
Chicken.
Yeah, kapapa.
Oh my goodness.
Chicken
After
kapa.
tomato gravy. Yeah.
Yo. But you know,
That's crazy.
we didn't know anything. Like, because we didn't
Yeah.
know anything of it, the model and everything. Because obviously, our color, you know, people like, hey,
Yeah.
Not
So
more
you had
like-
to clean for all
Yeah,
of the stuff that you were
you-
getting. Yeah.
way before. Obviously, for more anything, no, we actually had to see all the struggles,
Yeah.
you know, and actually be humble to where we are now.
We
Because
are now.
at first, bro, we used to do gigs for free.
Yeah.
Like we used to do gigs for free.
You and many
Begging,
others, you know,
yeah.
I have to say, you and many others were doing gigs for free. I'm in as much as I'm calling you guys a big act, I don't want us to take away from the fact there's a lot of people who are and have been in the position that you are today.
Yeah.
A lot of people have had these features before that we might not know of.
Yeah.
Right? So you face the rejection, you face the high points and everything
Yeah.
like that. But you know, I want to know if you would be able to advise anyone who would be coming into this. Or rather, let's forget the advice because they'll go through it themselves. you
Yeah,
know, they'll see how they get
see
through
how
it.
it is. Yeah.
The one thing I want to know is how do you feel like you will go to the next step? How will you continue sticking out? How will you make sure that these features with Calvin Momo are not the last ones? How will you make sure that for my dog that one day after this, I'm gonna see you on Channel O, I'm gonna see you on MTV. They're gonna call you to Los Angeles, they're gonna call you to Paris, you'll be going to Ibiza. How do you feel like you can make sure that you can get there one day?
Just keeping up with the consistency, you know, because a lot of people lack that a lot of consistency. You know, they see Uguti, let's say you drop a song, then you have like 15 streams. You just give up and say, there's no use, you know. So I'm actually like proud how we actually kept
The consistency. Consistency is key. You know, I've got another show on the channel. Please go check it out. It's called The Best Corner with Reggie Mash. And the first interview I did over there was a guy called Grant. He owns the Babe Studio, the director at the Babe Studio. And that's actually one of the things that he said, is that consistency is something that it's like discipline and consistency, they go hand in hand, because you need to be disciplined to be doing the same thing over and over and over.
Discipline is a very
You feel like consistency is what's going to keep you with bigger features. Maybe one day you'll be with Kabza this. Well, Kabza, hot money, majita kiana, how are you going to get there, bro?
Bro, honestly speaking, yeah, like this Dread said, it's all about consistency and discipline and respecting your craft.
Yeah.
If you respect your craft, bro, I'm telling you,
creativity.
creativity is also important. So once you respect your craft, there's discipline as well.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, you're gonna succeed in whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know. So obviously, hence why I don't want to consider ourselves as big artists. You know?
Yeah.
I just want us to.
Hey, man, you are big. What's this guy saying? You are big, man.
Bro, even if we have
You are
90,000
big, bro.
streams,
My dude,
50,000.
let me tell you, there's people who have been making music for more than a decade, and they haven't even reached total streams of 90,000.
Yeah.
So in as much as I want you to be humble,
Yeah.
but at the same time, man, you know, you have to be able to count your blessings.
Count your blessings,
You have to
yes.
count your blessings. You're big. And that's why I'm asking, how are you going to stay there? Because, yeah, you guys have got your goal that you feel like you're not there yet. For me, I've got a new YouTube channel. I don't even have 600 views yet, bro. So for you guys to have the amount of success that you've had and be able to turn it into something, you've turned it into something by means of the shows that you've been doing and all of that. You're big, bro. And I pray that you guys are gonna get bigger. I pray that you guys are gonna reach the stars. Hopefully one day you'll take me to America with you guys.
Most certainly, bro. Most
I really
certainly.
hope so. Yeah, man. So if there's any last words you guys would like to tell the audience, you know, about yourselves, about what's coming next, what are you working on, who are you working with next, any of that.
There's a new movement called Ozamada.
Woza Madala,
Yeah,
Woza.
that's training on
Trending on
TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah.
So it's actually a surprise what we're going to pop it. Huge artist.
Yeah. Let's not mention. It's actually a surprise. It's
Give
a
me an
surprise.
exclusive, guys.
It's a surprise.
Come on.
It's a surprise.
Okay, so there's a Woza Madala Woza. It's on TikTok. It's trending. And then you guys are working with a very big artist. Can we say bigger than what you worked with before?
Same line.
Same
It's
line.
actually like more.
But they're international.
You know,
That's the hint.
international level.
They're international.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
international.
These guys are giving me exclusives, guys. I'm so
Okay, you know,
excited.
listen. Let's do just the hint. Balcony mix.
Balcony mix.
Okay.
That's the hint.
That's
That's
all.
The balcony
That's all.
mix. Okay.
That's the
Balcony mix.
Hey guys, I'm with some big hitters. I'm getting nervous. I'm with some big hitters
We're
right
also
now.
working
Let's
on a new album called Season of Scarf.
Season of Stuff.
Season of Scarf.
Which is
That's the genre that we were
includes
talking about.
our new movement.
Yeah, so that's what you guys are working with. And are there any features that you would like to have over there?
So-
any that you're already working with?
Yeah, you know what we're actually planning? We're actually planning that since it's the genre that we're actually pushing, since we like created ourselves.
Yeah.
We had this thought that okay, you know what? Let's not make any features. But then we actually came into the consideration of okay, now you know what? Let's actually add some of the people that we actually trust that are very, very work ethic, you know, that actually can produce, like, yeah, that can also create a movement. Like Wade will be on the album, Baby Girl Mint, and then Galactic will be on the album. Yeah, bro, there's actually a lot of people that we want to be on the album as well, you know. That we
A
actually
lot of people that we've
consider.
been working with actually.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And we're actually King Detour is actually working on a bigger distribution channel that
Okay.
you can drop the album
Oh.
under, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, to actually get more verification, you know,
Verification,
because
yeah.
obviously it's hard, yo. Like it's very hard. It's a very hard album, but then obviously you need that big distribution, you know, where you can actually
Different
see
movement.
a different
Yeah,
movement.
yeah.
So yeah,
Hey, man. Hopefully I can get King D-Toy on the album, on the channel. as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
I hope so. Maybe these guys can make something happen. King D-Toy, Khotman, the mic is waiting, bro. Please come through to the podcast. It'll be very dope, man. Hey, man. I wish you guys luck. You guys are some really humble dudes. I wish you guys more blessings, more luck. I hope that you guys are going to reach greater heights. And hopefully you can keep in contact and we can have a follow-up episode where we can just talk about where you guys have gone going forward. And yeah, man. Thanks very much for tuning in. If you've been here so from the beginning until now, I really appreciate you. You know, most people don't even watch the full episode. I was looking at my analytics. Please watch my full episodes, guys. The whole thing is gonna be have a lot of value. So thanks a lot for everyone who watched. Thanks a lot to the gents for coming through. Thank you, Buipila. Your mom is the best, bro. thanks for her to bring you here.
Super mom.
Everything is went well, and I really appreciate you guys for watching the On the Map podcast. This is Reggie Mash, Buipilo, Mpo signing out, and yeah, man. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next episode of the podcast.
We on the map, on the map, on the map, on the map, on the map. Yeah, we really gonna flex though. Got some stats, got some stats, got some stats, got some stats, got some stats. Yeah, we really about to spin it up.